that? Okay. Getting all the recorders going.
Grade or something.
I'll be right back. I'll get the backup. Sorry.
Everybody chill.
Relax. Studio audience.
Is there entertainment?
No, we used to, but now we
Yeah.
No, we can't.
Not very much.
The FCC doesn't allow us to be joyful. No, we're on TV. Or we'd be having a blast. You blame Rick.
Yeah. No. Blame oils and open meeting laws and all that other stuff.
Used before, so it's just bad fitting. All right, we're good. Sorry.
All right, seeing at 7 o'clock, we call the meeting to order. Fire exits are outside of that door at each end of the hall. There's a defibrillator located across the hall if one is needed. We will start with the pledge of allegiance to the flag and a moment of silence for all deceased residents of Miami. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will continue with the invocation from Pastor James Fox from the Living Hope Assembly of God. Sure, we got speakers coming up anyway, so we're
I'll get it ready, warmed up for them.
okay.
It would be remiss to not say happy anniversary to Maureen, 31 years being married, and now it's recorded. Quite a few. It's a secret, we don't know. I'm sure you have one. You got at least a legal one. That's for sure. Let's bow our hearts in prayer. Father God, I am thankful for this council. I'm thankful, Father, for the town board and for everyone that puts effort and time in leading us in this community. Your word makes very clear, Lord, and it says right here in 1 Timothy 2, first of all, then I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. So I'm praying, Father, that your blessing will be upon those that lead us in this community. In a way, they're in high position. They make decisions on all our behalf. I pray that you give them wisdom, you give them guidance, you help them do their job with integrity and justice, peace and stability, and that you, Father, will lead and guide them so that we might then live peaceable and quiet lives. I pray you protect them, Father, from unneeded complaints. When it's valid, help them do their best to meet the need at hand so that the complaints can be squelched and people can live in peace and unity. But I pray, God, you protect them from needless complaints so that they can press on to the things that are priority and not be set back by those things that hold them down. And I'm sure they know what I'm talking about. For anyone that's in leadership, we get hit from both sides. So I pray, encourage them to know what to pay their time on and what things to be able to, in the best possible sense, squash so that it doesn't take away from what's truly important. That's what I ask for. Guide them, lead them, and direct them. For they, O Father, are those that are leading us in the charge here in Hamlin, New York. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank
You're welcome.
All right, well, clerk, please call the roll.
Bartlett.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
Vogel. Here. Jaeger.
Here.
Buzz.
Here. At this point, we'll come to the public forum. I have a couple of people here, but if you have anything to say, try to keep it down like around 5 minutes, address the board as a whole. The board may or may not answer you. I see the first one I got was from a Chris Wegman from 29 Drake Road. Would you please address the board? Sir.
Thank you. I'll skip the part where I tell you my name, and my address is Steve Lee. I'm certainly not gonna deliver any complaints after that lovely meditation. Instead, I'd like to take a higher road for situations that I have and my neighbors share with me, and hopefully it's the highest road possible. And I don't expect an answer. I just want to pose 2 questions for the board tonight. Let me begin, and my wife thinks it's necessary, but I do. Is everyone here familiar with the Monroe County Forensic Intervention Team and what their charter is? See some nods? If they'll indulge me, I'll just give you a brief
Okay, no,
history,
that's fine.
a definition of what it is. So this team was formed in 2017 and boosted in 2020 after the death of Daniel Krug at the hands of the Rochester Police Department. And what it deals with is a very proactive approach to identifying those in our neighborhood who actually need help mentally. This is a mental hygiene program in which, to my understanding, a police officer is dispatched to the individual's home. But it's on the request of people higher up than just one individual like myself, which is why I bring it before the board today. Back in 2023, I gave such a request to a deputy sheriff. I have the details if anybody wants them. In concern for a neighbor of mine. And this person's been a person of interest in my neighborhood for quite a few years since then. So we're very much concerned about his mental health. So as I said, it does require, I think, because I never got an answer back as to what the resolution was. And the officer did warn me that one instance, statistics say sample of 1 is none. If no one else speaks up, it isn't likely that the 15 is going to make an attempt to go out there with a mental health person and a police officer to be proactive in a case like this. So I guess I'm leading to the question you probably guessed at this point. Is there any person or department of the town of Hamlin that is responsible for making such a recommendation that one of its citizens be visited by the Monroe County 15? And if not, would any person or department in the town of Hamlin be willing to assume such a responsibility? Again, you don't have to answer.
It would be, no, we'll answer you, that's fine. We kind of know what's going on, and it would be up to this board to do it, and with the advice from our attorney. So
That sounds
if
good.
we needed to do it, yes, we can.
Yes.
Somebody in the board could with advice from our attorney.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We kind of know what you're talking about. So.
Okay.
And thank you very much for being so respectful and bringing that to our attention. I appreciate it, I'm sure they do.
I'm sure
Yes.
you do.
Yes.
Appreciate it, Maureen. Thank you for your time. This folder's pretty thick. It's one minute. And like I said, there's no malice here. This individual does need to seek some sort of mental direction, somebody that can really give him some help.
It could be. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
I haven't, do I have a copy of that? But anyways, all right, so that one's done. Brittany Letzow, am I saying it right?
Close enough.
Okay.
All right, so I have gifts for everyone, which I will hand out so you can follow along. This one is actually for you, it's just for town's record, I want you to have these. And I have one packet just for you.
Oh, boy.
Those are deeds that I'm gonna reference, as well as there's 2 books. One's an easement and one is actually a map for you guys to just look at. And then I have copies of what I'm talking about today. And I ran out, so if you guys don't mind sharing, I've put the printer issues, just because I think it'll be a little bit easier for you to follow along, because there's a lot. So I was told to keep it to 5 minutes, so I'm going to respectfully ask if we have questions. I'm happy to clarify afterwards, but I'm gonna try to get through this. And I'm gonna give you the cliff notes, just to get under that vibe. So I'll start with I'll just read it. So it says, good evening, my name is Brittany Leesaw. I'm actually speaking on behalf of the property owner of lot 15 at 5882 West Watchoma Beach Road. She's sitting right here, Michelle Pion. We're here because for nearly 2 years, we've been trying to resolve ongoing issues involving property rights and drainage on this lot, and despite repeated outreach, we've received inconsistent and often incorrect information from the town. So I'm going to start with the first issue of 2. The first issue is there is an easement misunderstanding on this lot. We have several neighbors who claim they have rights to use the entire property based on language in their deeds, referencing a right-of-way over lot 15. Over is a very important word here. However, these same deeds, which you all have copies, or Steve and Maureen, your copies of, are referenced Weaver 63, page 8, which clearly defines a 6-foot path, not the whole lot. We have obtained and are submitting the original map from Weaver 63, page 8, showing the 6-foot path, deeds referencing that same document. A current survey has been done and has clearly marked both the property boundaries and the 6-foot easement, which I know Steve came out and physically saw in person. Despite this, we have neighbors who continue to trespass across the whole property, and historically, the town has contributed to the confusion by incorrectly stating that the easement applies to the entire lot. There's just been confusion. I'm not blaming the town, but that's what has led us to be here today. Additionally, we've been told by the attorney that this 6-foot strip may actually be owned by the town rather than being a private easement. This directly conflicts with the deed I had provided references.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
So,
No, you said it was vacant property.
I said I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't-
thought it was
there's-
vacant property.
been
and
confusion
Steve
about
said he
the
thought it
6-foot
was the
path.
town.
yeah, so we're just here to kind of clear up some confusion because we,
Okay,
throughout the
can
2
I
years.
stop just for a second?
Can I wait?
This is a civil meeting.
I want to get through the 5 minutes
Okay.
and then I would be more than happy, because there's a couple things here that I want to get through first. So, again, a lot of confusion that has been happening. So we have been advised by legal counsel that Ms. Keown may be liable for anyone injured while on her property. Given this ongoing confusion about access and the continued trespassing, it creates a serious liability concern for her and as the property owner. Essentially, imagine this. If you have an easement in a building that gives you access to the hallway, not to the entire building, you get access to that hallway. So we are asking the town tonight to formally clarify and acknowledge, 1, that lot 15 is privately owned by Ms. Keown. 2, that any right-of-way is limited strictly to the 6-foot path defined in Weaver 63, page 8 provided today. 3, whether that 6-foot strip is a town-owned parcel or a private easement, and to put the determination on record. That's issue number 1. So number 2, we're running into some culvert and drainage failure issues. So the town has previously installed drainage pipes and filled culverts along this road, but this specific culvert was left unfinished due to the mistake consulting someone who was not the property owner. Steve, I know you actually were involved in this and you have a lot of historical knowledge here. Had the proper ownership been verified, the outcome would have been much different. Ms. Keown would have had this built along with all of the other culverts on the road. So for the past 2 years, we've repeatedly requested assistance. We've been told conflicting things, including that an easement was required. I have since located that easement. So I was told an easement was required in October, and that easement is in your packet today. It's Weaver 3169, page 356, which we are also submitting. So now, basically, Mike, I know we've reached out to you, and you've declined to proceed this year. Even though last year, the agreement was that you would do it if we had an easement. We have the easement today. So this is not just a property issue, it is also a drainage and infrastructure issue. This culvert carries runoff from multiple homes across the road into the lake. It clogs daily with debris. I have photos to show you. It's it's not reaching the lake. It's getting so clogged up with sticks from a willow tree that's on the adjacent property. And it is not maintainable by Miss Pion. She's a widow, you know, who's a little bit older in her years, no offense. But basically, when she has been attempting to maintain it, she was verbally harassed by the neighbors. Steve also witnessed this, he's met the neighbors, to the point where we've had police involved. She does not feel safe accessing this area of her property anymore to maintain the culvert. So my ask today is we're asking the town board to take the following actions. 1, formally review and acknowledge the property boundaries and easement limitations based on the documents that I'm providing today that have not been seen previously. 2, provide a written determination regarding the ownership and status of that 6-foot path. 3, revisit the decision on the culvert and drainage pipe consisting of considering that the document easement in Lieber 3169 was provided today and the easement exists on a 10-foot path on her property. And 3, that this public drainage function, the public drainage function this culvert serves. 4, I'm requesting a clear point of contact and timeline for the resolution so this does not continue unresolved, because this has been a lot of work the last few years on both of our behalf. We're just looking to align on these actions.
I'm gonna
I made it
start
under
with-
5.
I'm gonna start with the first thing. First of all, the town has no authority to make any resolution about what Michelle's property lines are. This is a civil, legal matter. The town has can make no resolutions. I told Michelle she needs to hire an attorney.
Yeah.
Okay. Second of all, the easement that these people have, it says over it.
I can clarify that. I have the definition right here because I was prepared for this. In property law, an easement must have defined location and scope. General phrases like over or across are not enough by themselves. If the deed references another document, for example, Lieber 63, page 8, that document controls and limits the easement. Over lot just means somewhere on or associated with that parcel, not the whole thing. That was provided from a lawyer.
Okay, but again, that is a civil matter. It has nothing to do with the town of
I
Hampton.
understand, but when I tell people that they're trespassing on my property, they're all gonna call you guys.
No, because they're gonna get the same, they're gonna get the same
Okay,
response.
that's fine, because in the past,
They haven't got the same
they
response.
have seemed to
Not for me
think.
to have.
We were given bad information
Yeah.
before, in the past, we were given
Yeah.
bad information, so we worked on that.
Yep.
I admit that it was bad since I was involved, I admit there was bad information, and I appreciate that you sent us this stuff so that we know how to respond to
The
trespass.
biggest thing here
That
is,
it's a civil suit.
yeah,
and not-
we're gonna send out a certified letter to those who have miscommunication about their deeds. This is, honestly, we want it on record because the certified letters are going to go out and request, like, hey, here's the legal documents. We want the town aligned because we've spoken to each of you individually and been like kind of swirling. And so I want us all on one page, recorded and documented that this is the path forward. So when those certified letters go out and those people come to the town, they are told the proper information.
The proper information is gonna be, this is not a town matter. The town has nothing to do with your private property and who has easements over your private property. That has nothing to do with this town. They have no control. Okay?
That's a good thing, then.
Absolutely.
But then, though, because in the past, every 5 minutes, they were doing something behind my back and running to the town. And when I did want the culvert filled in last year, I was told I needed to get all their permission in order to do so on my private property.
I
Mike
was on
told
that
me
call.
that. Well, I'm not gonna ask them for permission when they flat out told me a made-up story when they found out I was the only owner of that property. They're not trustworthy neighbors for me
You're
to,
the only person I have
Don't you?
ever talked to on the phone.
I've been,
Yes.
well, we've talked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I've never talked to your neighbors. I only talked to you.
yeah.
Yes.
So
This
that's
Thank
basically
you.
number one, is I just want it recorded that we are all on the same page, so when someone does call, that the proper information is given. The Lieber 3156 and 63 have not historically been provided. I did a lot of legwork, I got those, so now we can properly reference the proper documents, so we're all on the same page. The second issue that we want to address is the flip-flopping on the culvert and why all the culverts on our road were deemed necessary to fill or to pipe and fill, and why now we're getting told, when we were told last year we could do it, In the spring, they were gonna do it, it got kicked down the road, we kind of called and checked, and then October came and we were told, we need an easement. So that's when we started calling you. There is an easement. And then now this year, we're getting told we won't do it because if we do it for you, we have to do it for everyone. I
Well,
called
there's
New
not-
York State.
First of all, I've never seen this before.
Right, it's
So-
referenced in all of the deeds too, so that's how I was able to dig that up.
If you don't mind, this is what I'm trying to clean out of the culvert. I mean,
Oh.
it's no joke.
No,
And then at the very end,
What,
all the stone washes up, so all that stagnant water just sits
Sits
there,
and
and then
smells.
everything floods. It's a
Yeah.
valid point.
so the other thing is, just
And I'm the
because the
only
town
one
has an
maintaining
easement,
it. And when
doesn't
I
mean they have to
do,
use
I
it.
have.
No,
men
so,
around me,
Shell,
and I think it's all the
Shell.
police officers.
So we're asking to use it is essentially because every other culvert on our road was deemed necessary to take care of. This one was missed, not at anyone in this room's fault, but it was missed because she was never consulted. They consulted Mark Flannery, who is not an owner. And so what I am asking today, my request is, can we please fix this issue that we originally had created by miscommunication and just fill the culvert?
it's up to the town and highway superintendent. I don't have any control over that.
And my stance is still that Michelle has the right to fill it, if she wants to. We have so many people that come to us and want ditches along the roadside filled. We have people that want drainage that runs through their property on country lots
This is
that
different.
they want filled.
This is lake drainage, so this is actually a flooding issue that was associated with the lake. I know we are a little special up there.
Why is it a flooding issue?
Can I ask, well, because every neighbor across the road, so we have Michelle Keown, Mark Flannery, Bonnie, we have Diane DeLoche, and we have Jerry and Dave. All of their backyards flood. Mark's barn flooded this year because that culvert ties into those homes, goes under the road and spits out. I wanna know why you were gonna do it in October, but you won't do it now.
I was
on the phone when that was.
I know, and I was under different information also, and we're not filling private property. That's not our responsibility.
So
If
why
you
was it
would-
done
if-
previously?
I can't speak to that. I didn't fill it.
It was a drainage, it was a lake
I
issue. It wasn't a private property issue, it was a lake issue.
I can't speak to that.
The man in the room can.
But you're asking me and I'm responding to you. I can't answer that.
Why was it done already, meaning other drains?
Yes, it was done when the flooding happened.
That's right, because the other drains were, putting in danger our infrastructure, the road infrastructure and stuff. When the flooding in 17 and 19, when the flooding was there, when the lake
We're
was
2
up
inches away
crazy.
from that level right now.
I know it's, the lake's coming up again, it's
So
been on
that's
TV
our,
and everything.
that's our fears, we're already there again. So it's gonna continue to cycle, and we are asking the board today to maybe consider this.
We can consider it again, I mean, if, but right at this time, the infrastructure's not being threatened. And like I said, we were gonna do it years ago, and I talked to Ms. Pion, and who I was told was the other,
Right.
I did not go to the county and check on the levers, and that is believe the other people. They said they were part owners, and forbid me to put a tile there.
Right,
I was, so that's why,
And so
that's
this
the
is-
reason why we didn't back when the flooding was actually
right.
going
And so
on.
this is why today I'm here to say, can we just fix the mistake that was done back in 2017? Because had this been discussed with Ms. Keown in 2017, we wouldn't be here today.
Actually, probably not, because then, like I said, the water was up there and the infrastructure was in, our road and everything was being damaged, and so
We
that's
just
why we did
got
it.
our road repaved too, so I mean.
Yep.
And this is the only culvert on our road that was not done.
There's a couple.
The other ones were already from the state piped out to the lake.
Well, we piped one of them all the way up to the lake.
Yes, I know you did, because the owner told me.
Right, but we had to fix a bunch of the, like the end pipe or two out of the lake, and then put covers on it, so. But we did because of the flooding and the problem to our infrastructure.
Right, so like I said, we're 2 inches away from where we were in 2017 right now, and it's April. So this is gonna continue, if history repeats itself, which it does, it's gonna continue to be an issue. And we're just asking that we can take a look at this.
We'll take a look at it again. We can do that, but I don't know, I'm not promising
That's
anything
fine.
right now.
I just want us to
We
take a
can
look
look
at
at it
it.
again, with new information that you had given us.
Yep.
Oh, did you have a third thing?
That is everything.
Well,
And I do
again,
have
I
the
mean, we can't
language.
give a lot of,
Yeah.
we gotta look through this stuff. Like I said, I haven't seen this stuff before, so we need time to look
This
through
is
it.
another deed from down the road that uses that same language as over lots. So those are the easements. Just for your reference, the word over doesn't mean it's in entirety.
Unfortunately, when these descriptions were made and the attorneys who drew them, that's how they did it.
Right.
Yeah.
And to
I'm trying to
them,
clarify it though, so we are all on the same page.
but again, that's something that your attorney needs to talk to their attorney about and get it clarified.
I just don't want them, they're gonna call, like I told Liz, they're gonna call. They already have, and I want us to all be on the same page so we all understand.
They're all gonna
I
say the
just
same thing.
had one of them tell me, no more than 2 weeks ago, she didn't believe anything you guys told her. She wasn't mad at me, but she was mad at the town because she knows she owns that property.
She does not own that property.
And that's the problem.
They'll have
I
to come,
just got told that, literally.
no, but that's all right.
And that
Either
person was on the
talk
lot
to
yesterday
attorneys
with
or
a
have them
child.
come to the town, to a town board meeting like this. And we will tell her that it's a civil
Thank
matter,
you
it's
so
not.
much.
legal.
Appreciate it. You've
Yeah.
been so helpful to me. I don't know what I would have done without you.
It's
No,
not, it's not.
You're fine. That, I understand. I know it's been going on for a couple of years now. They say we were fed bad information years ago, otherwise everything would probably be different right
Yeah.
now. I didn't know.
I feel like it's almost right and wrong.
We'll look at it, like I say, and then we'll also look at all this other information.
Thank you.
But from now on,
They opened the can of worms.
from you telling us new information, we will let the people know that it's a civil
They
matter.
enjoyed the rights to
And
the
that they
land
have
though,
to
so I
contact
mean.
you or contact the lawyer or whatever, we will
But it's
not be
okay.
doing it
If they
anymore.
stubbed their toe,
Perfect, because I don't
her
think
lawyer said
they
they
will
will
take it that far, because I know when all this came to light, they all went home and looked at their deeds, and they didn't have a deed to the property, because I get the deed to the property, because it's mine.
Right, right,
Absolutely.
yep.
You're correct.
Can I ask one more question? When do we hear back about any type of resolution, whether it is in our favor or not in our favor?
We gotta look this over, but at least a couple of weeks or.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm gonna grab the survey map from Rich. If that's okay with you?
Yeah, because he was just out,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll
he
grab the
found
survey map.
things.
Rich just went out and do the survey map. I'll
Yeah.
grab that.
We'll be
Let's
back
look
in
at
touch
that.
with you in a couple of weeks, and
Okay.
even if we don't make a decision by then, we'll let you know when we're gonna
All
do
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just didn't want to
Let
annoy
us
you
look
with
over the
your.
information first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
is that good?
I had to install cameras, you know, unfortunately on the lot because of what was happening next door and cutting, you know, the line.
Right,
Even though he denied doing it, it's on camera.
right.
I've done everything the police officer told me to do to make sure that I'm doing everything legally.
So
And
now the
that's
attorney.
just what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
They're your attorney and yours. Okay. Anybody else? Is there anybody else out there that would like to talk to the board tonight? Please stand up and give your name and address. All right, I was handed something, since we're in this question period, I was handed something by our town clerk. A YouTube viewer questions concerns to the board. Greece is preparing for flooding due to lake levels, they have plans and sandbags ready, and people being communicated to. What's Hamlin doing? As of Sunday, the lake level was 246.92. In 17, it was 247.21, and quickly increased to a record of 248.95 in May. The IJC has stopped outflows in Ottawa, while the lake is 5 inches above year-to-date norm. We have not, we watched the lake level 2, and I'm gonna actually convert this to our highway superintendent. I'm not sure what supplies we have on hand or to if the lake does start to ride up as far as sandbags. Do we have any on hand? That's what I meant. Do we have any of that? We don't. we can probably get sand to deliver to the residents so they can fill the bags and everything, but 'cause we have a sand pit right here in town. Like I said, right, as of right now, we know it's coming up and we are watching it. We don't have any huge pumps, so if it comes up that much, we'd have to talk to Monroe County or the state again, get the huge pump from their emergency place in the city or in China. Where's that building? Out by the airport, you got an emergency building, a place where they source. And so when it does get up that far, or whatever, if it keeps going up, we will look at the problem more right then. But now we have some empty bags and we can get sand. We're probably not gonna fill them, but we can deliver the empty bags and sand to the residents. Am I accurate with that? If an emergency starts to come, not right now.
Like last time, if it's a state of emergency.
Right, that's what I meant, if it's a state of emergency, right. That's what I meant, I should have said state of emergency, that's what I meant, if an emergency. Yes.
Has there been any discussions on a county level, like any plans or thoughts about the lake level rising with potential flooding?
Just recent what they're doing.
Do you do anything?
Not a word yet about it, just what you saw on the news tonight. Okay, seeing that there is nobody else, we're gonna end this public forum. We will go on, requesting town board resolution to approve the regular town board meeting minutes of April 13th, 2026.
Robert?
Yes.
Wright? Volkel? Yeah. Yeager? Bus?
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to approve the payment of bills from the respective funds.
So moved. Second.
Robert?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Volkel? Yeah. Yeager?
Yeah.
Bus?
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to allow recreation to purchase from Hammond Sports 44 uniforms and baseballs at a cost of $1,947 for the 2026 season.
So moved.
Second.
Robert?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Volkel? Yeah. Yeager?
Yeah.
Bus?
Yes. This next one, the people have been out to class, and I have not answered them. I'll read it, and we gotta do this, but I'm not sure it's on the list. Why we're moving money around. Requesting town board resolution to make the following budget amendments. Library, increased revenue account, L0599.00 fund balance $3,225, increased expense account, L7410.413, maintenance expense $3,225. And that's it.
It was for, I believe, fixing Brexit.
I saw they were mechanical out there, but
She said it, that's right.
okay. She let me know that, I didn't know, okay.
So moved. Second.
Robert?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Volkel? Yeager?
Yeah.
Bus?
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to make the following budget amendments to move money for the JC Camp grant. Increased revenue account, A2770.12, miscellaneous refunds, grants, and reimbursements, $2,100.76. Increased expense account, A1110.40, justice contractual expense, $2,100.76. That's that, grant that the courts get, I think they use it for new telephones out there this year, a telephone system out there this year.
So moved. Second.
Robert?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Volkel? Yeah. Yeager?
Yes.
Bus?
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to accept the quote from Scenes Westfire Building Solutions for cameras in the town hall at the price of $13,948.18.
Got it, we bundled it, we would have got it, we got that.
Yes. This is the discussion we had last time, you told me to go back to it. So it dropped $6,000. That's not it, that's another one.
There's two different things here.
No, that's,
The lodge.
I didn't have it, I just It's the same exact thing that they had before.
We talked about that if we did do that.
Yeah, I know, if we were bundling.
Right.
So, we dropped it 6,000.
Instead of make a whole bunch of copies, the copies are exactly the same except they're closed.
Okay.
How many cabinets?
5. 5. Yeah, the machine that you hook into. It's good.
Probably the server.
Yeah, the server, thank you. The server's gonna be in that room where all of our computer stuff is now. And it can go to the computers on our desk. No, what to determine that when we get it up and everything.
Is there different costs, like is it more for more computers that are added? Or is it all the same cost?
I know we can probably add at least 2.
And it's gonna be,
It's not just one, we're gonna have at least a couple.
it's gonna be recorded.
Yes, for 30 days. Yes. After 30 days, you're probably not gonna, if you wanna save it after that, put a thumb drive into your computer and tape it.
And that's just, there's no like monthly or
No,
annual?
there is no monthly or annual fee.
Fees.
I'm okay with it.
Second.
Kovak,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Hooper, Yeager,
Yeah.
Haas.
Yes. All right. You just got another one today. I just got another one today, so you just got it. This is for, and that's why it's not on here, because I just got it today. This is for the lodge out back. This is a combination of the fire system that we get a look at, because there is no fire system, it does not connect to the fire department or anything out there. So this is for the fire system for out there and the security system. This is local in this book. For the cameras and door locks and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be like electronic door locks.
So does there have to be, because one of the problems is there's no phone line.
It's gonna be a Starlink, they call it. It's the same thing that they just put on, if you look out here this week, made this a Starlink to go with the phone. We had to do it with the History Center because the phone lines are just totally, rats went through them or mice or something, or gophers underground and stuff. And so they actually do it with the generators over there on North Hamlin Road. That's a Starlink system that lets you know if the generator shuts down or whatever, I believe, right?
No, it's not a system.
Yeah. So, right, it goes, it hooks right into, it doesn't need phone lines, it hooks right into those.
So there's a monthly.
Yes, there's a monthly fee to the Starlink.
For that. It would be the same thing that the monitoring was for our current fire systems.
I'm trying to think what it is over the History Center.
$38 a month? or
Yeah, something like that, $38 a month, that's about what it is, I think that's what it is over the History Center. Some rate, we have rate, yes.
I mean, it is where the daycare's at, it doesn't look at
Well, and since we've had a couple of issues in the last
Right.
year out there, one that just costs a whole bunch of money and time.
Should they have a fire system?
Right.
Yeah, so it's just you're paying it now.
I know that's a lot of money too, but it is a fire system which should have been there years ago.
So
Get
the
to it.
door, there, they would change to a key fob
Yes,
system on the door?
Yes.
Is that correct?
yes.
There's just one key fob in this book, or is that
And it says one, where's that a kit?
On our first box, when you read it. Keep box.
It does say keep fobs. I would think there's a few of them that not there. I mean, I know a bunch of places that have keep fobs, party fobs and everything,
That's keep five.
they're not very expensive at all. And they're nice, so if you have a disgruntled employee, you just turn the key fob off from your computer and it doesn't work anymore.
Then that would include the program to
Yes.
activate fobs.
Oh, yeah, that's all, yeah, that's
The way
in
I
here.
understand,
Yeah.
Macy's was that the key fob, when whoever rents, and then the key fob go into the box. Close the door.
We need.
Oh, absolutely. I just got it today, so it wasn't on your agenda. We also, and he wrote on there, door strikes will need to be added by a separate company as discussed. That is not included in this thing, because they don't do it. That is the main door out front. If you wanted to lock it from a computer, from any place in the United States, whatever, from a computer, you could open and unlock that door from a computer. You know, like say the person who checks the building, so that you have a renter, and they call you and let you know, hey, I just left. You've had problems with the door wasn't locked after they left. Well, they call you and say they just left, you can go on your computer, you punch it, that door automatically locks right there. We can talk about that later, we don't need it right now, but we can talk about it here. That was something that they don't do with the door, it's another company. It would hook into their, no, it would hook into their system. They still, the key fobs and everything will take care of the door, it's still gonna have that electronic latch on it. That holds the door shut and everything. So, I'm just letting you know, there is he wrote it on there and just explaining that to you.
I'm just saying, so we don't forget about this, we should probably look at it. Because it doesn't, we take the agenda out of
And like I say, it's for the fire system and for security. Since we have had troubles here.
You can't.
Yes,
Okay.
there's cameras inside of there.
Let's see.
Is this for interior and exterior camera?
No, we already have paid the exterior ones. The exterior camera, and the exterior cameras are coming, they're ordered.
Okay.
We have already made a resolution for the exterior cameras. They are on order with everything happening in the world nowadays, everything's a little bit slow. So the exterior cameras are coming, and as soon as they get here, they will install. But this also has, this has interior cameras, at least 2 of them. And it has window, it has motion detectors. And motion detectors, so when he does come in, they're gonna, if you wanna have some window or door, like if anybody tries to get into the bathroom doors, whatever, you want the back, whatever, the door alarms, and a door is open, it's
If there's a door ajar,
yes, or a door ajar will alarm somebody, yes.
or windows.
Windows, yeah. If somebody tries to break a window and get in like that or whatever, it will set out an alarm.
Yeah.
Alright, fine.
Oh, plus a carbon dioxide detector.
Makes it cover lots.
But there are gonna be two more cameras inside.
They're handling the camera part too.
Yes,
I thought that's the way it was.
yes. So I'll make the resolutions. Requesting town board resolution to accept the quote from, I don't say Great Science Building Solutions for security system and fire system down to the Charlie Meyer Lodge. And look at the price, people, I'm sorry.
25,000.
Yeah, $25,256.49.
So moved. Second.
Brumbault,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wolfle, Jaeger,
Yes.
Haas.
Yes. And I know this wasn't in our budget, but we do have like, we have a couple counts. One, we have our cable franchise, which is a bunch of money in it that could easily pay for this and stuff. So we have it without breaking the budget. But this needs to be done. You're talking security and fire systems.
Can you just verify, I don't see cameras anywhere. Here's what I just
I'll verify for you.
verified.
I actually think it's
Cameras
right there.
That was,
The megapixel there, yes. I think that's what it is. I can verify it for you and let you know.
Yeah, it says two.
It says two, and there's gonna be two cameras there, yes. Yep, I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll verify that. Is there any other discussion?
Another resolution for a roof change.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed right over that. Sorry, thank you. Requesting town board resolution to accept the quote from BYO Recreation for a 34 by 24 by 14 hip roof shade structure for the playground at a cost of $11,675.
That was ARPA.
that would be taking time to.
That was the ARPA fund, yes. Yes. Because the other one's gone,
Right.
What's it look like?
It's, I forget what color it's gonna be. I think it was like a
Yeah, they went
teal
over
or
the
something.
colors, I don't remember what the colors.
It's, there's like 30 different colors.
Yeah.
They picked one that is very UV ray, because some of them let a lot more UV rays through, so they picked one color that was 90-something UV ray.
Yeah, they
Not
have the
that
highest
rating.
rating for the UV, so.
Right. It was almost like a
Like
turquoise color.
standalone structure, or what is it? Like, what's the?
It's a standalone structure. It's on 4 metal posts in a corner with a hip roof. It's like this.
And it can get removed in the fall.
Yeah. So we don't, I don't know if it would shed the snow, it's a snow.
Yeah, it doesn't appear like the snow will come off very well on it, so. But I guess a lot depends on the winter.
So we'll be on this side of the playground, facing from like where you see a bunch of benches up. That's why it's 14 foot tall too. It's gonna be up, because there's like two or three different benches right there, and it's gonna go go down to where, and then that circular octagon shaped things, so we'll cover all of that. And we can look down the road if we want to put something in the back side. Great.
Brumbault,
Yes.
Wright,
Yeah.
Wolfle, Jaeger,
Yeah.
Haas.
Yes.
In addition to that, can you ask Megan to email us what would be, once this is paid out of there, how much as well?
Yep. Yep. We are, again, sorry. Discussion other than that? Anybody?
I have a
Okay.
discussion, sort of to add to what Chris had mentioned. It's a safety concern we're worried about. The resident who has been restricted from entering the town offices continues to come inside despite that directive. This has happened multiple times, on the 14th, the 22nd, 23rd, and 29th. And staff are unsure on how to respond in the moment. This creates a safety risk and potential liability for the town, especially since the restriction is already in place but not being enforced. I'm asking the board to clarify the enforced protocol, whether that involves law enforcement support, internal procedures, so staff are protected and the policy is meaningful.
Should be a 911 call.
Anyone feels in danger for some reason?
You could bring it up and see if they want to send a 15 with them. I'm gonna actually talk to the 15 year old, so I can.
Yeah,
Absolutely, see what.
But that's, he's been issued a no trespass.
Right.
And if he trespassed, that's a criminal violation.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
why you
and
call
we
911.
had asked this before, back on 14th, and we didn't really get an answer back. So,
I would call 911 to the sheriff. And if they, because the more they become familiar with this case, it's easier for them to do what we know what they expect.
thankfully Steve was there today, and Liz happened to call me. So we had, but he's not always there, you know, and what do I do while I'm on the phone and the resident is in my office? It's gonna,
So I'm gonna have someone call C-Zone tomorrow with this information, and then I know the person that probably had this case is a bit before, so.
I did talk to our attorney today, and
I'm sending another letter.
she sent another letter and stuff to him, probably tomorrow or whatever. I just talked to her today about it. Okay. Because of the situation and everything, so.
Yeah,
We'll have a little more meat to stand on as far as not entering the building or whatever.
And now this one. People know tomorrow, so they.
So, like, they're gonna call 911 in the future for that situation.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Just wanna make sure.
The employees don't have call buttons in their offices, do that they can push for 911. We had them in another town I worked in. They were right at our desks, and all we did have to push the button and it automatically went to 911.
I don't know if you can put it on these phones or not. I mean, we probably don't have it set up
They're
right
like the
now.
banks, it's just a button.
Yes, it's a button
And
that
you
you
just
have.
push the button and it automatically hits 911 and they dispatch.
And the person doesn't know you're on.
Yeah, I guess
Right.
that's one of the questions I had, because this person has come into our office twice while I was there by myself. And how am I supposed to pick up the phone and call 911 while
yeah,
he's
it's
trying to
gonna
talk
make
to
it
me?
very awkward.
Especially with 911 operators, because they're gonna want information.
Right,
Your
I
personal
can't
data.
pick up the phone when he's standing there talking to me and there's nobody else
So we should,
standing there. And we were very unclear on if there was official trespass, if we were valid in calling 911, or if we were just supposed to ask him to leave. So I guess that is what Paige was asking. We were very unclear what the proper procedures were
most places
supposed
have
to
like a
be.
code, like a code red system, so you would say bring the library book to the, you know, on the intercom, and then somebody calls 911, say you're in danger. So I mean,
You can look into it.
there should be a.
But he'll talk to the police tomorrow. Our attorney will write up another letter. It explains a lot better about him and this place and everything, so.
What about looking into call buttons for the,
As I just said, we'll look into it.
I didn't hear you say that. The older I get, the more my hair is going.
The only problem when you do those is that you're gonna have an operator that doesn't have any information. So if you have another way of doing it, like a code that you would say over an intercom or something, then someone else will automatically get on the phone and answer all the questions. You know, their address, what's going on.
I mean, and if you're alone, maybe you can just say, excuse me, and call down to Cheryl or Liz or another office, and they can make the call, so you're not
Right,
standing
right.
there on 911, you just say, hey, can you know, make the call. Or you
This
guys-
person's in the office,
Right,
they should
you
know
guys
what to
make
do.
your own
Right.
code word or whatever you want to do.
It
but-
just worked out perfectly today.
Yeah.
So we were thankful, but that's not always gonna be the case.
No.
You know,
Because it seems like.
we may not be
Been here a
able
while.
to call anybody.
No, you're right.
No, that's fine, then like he said, but he said just a call button, may not, it'll just call 911 and they won't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
the address, they won't know the situation.
So
Because
we'll
he's
look into
definitely, he's getting more
Emergency
comfortable
notice that-
coming in. He's been in 4 times in a month, and that's probably more times than I've seen him the entire 6 years I've worked
Right.
here. So
Right.
it's increasing and escalating.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, we'll look into it.
We already have our own crazy.
Yeah, he's a Baxter, so. He couldn't went against a gang member and didn't know it.
So, wow, no.
All right, did it answer your question?
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Oh, I know.
If there's no other discussion,
Yeah, question.
oh, okay,
Anything more on the roof historic inspections?
not yet. They haven't been calling me back. I've got their personal cell phone numbers and they're not calling me back. I was given their cell phone numbers for other clients of theirs and they're not calling back.
How about the grants for like the dog shelter?
We're working on it, but that grant won't be until next fall anyways. We're working on it. But the new grant won't come until next fall.
And I do have something else to add, that Thursday, May 7th is National Day of Prayer. We have a bunch of wonderful community members, one being here who's leading in that event that will start at 7 o'clock.
We have 4 to 5 churches right now that are involved,
So that's an evening, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
7 PM it starts.
7 PM. We'd love to see if we can get the fire department to come down and pray over them, pray over the truck.
That's really great.
We're gonna have a great time.
So we need a podium and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Or you guys are working that whole thing out, like Charlie, we did with Charlie first time.
Colleen and Patty Joe have got it all figured out.
We just need everybody to pray for good weather.
Barring no further business. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.